406.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 411 from 406, and my name is Chewie. How are you this evening? You know what? Hey, I normally start these episodes and I say, well, it's been a little while, because typically my recording schedule is just pretty awful, but that is not the case today. I recorded an episode just the other day. In fact, I posted two episodes to the feed just recently, and then Pip and I got together last night and we recorded, and now I'm coming to you again the day after Pip and I just recorded. So there is a bunch of content coming to the 411 from 406 feed here in very short order. The reason that I've got some time, so it is December the 17th, as I'm sitting here recording this. It is a Friday, and technically today was my first day off for the rest of the year. So yesterday was my last day in the office, and I've got some vacation time that if I don't use it here, then I will lose it. So I've kind of I've stockpiled some vacation, and I'm going to take the rest of the year off. So now I say technically because I will, in all likelihood, be checking my email at least once a day. The function that I serve at work, I don't have too many backups to the function that I do, so I need to make sure that I don't let stuff kind of fall apart in my absence. But that being said, it's going to be a very, very, very slow couple of weeks, which is awesome, which is what the holidays really should be about, in my opinion, just to kind of get to relax, get to recharge, and kind of take some time with I enjoy some time with my family and my friends, which is, I really look forward to it. Coronavirus, fucking COVID, is just absolutely running rampant. The last episode that I was talking to individually, I was relaying my experience with my booster vaccine, or the vaccine booster, which I had a rough go, but it was really only about 24 hours, and it really just kind of knocked me on my ass, and then I was feeling fine the next day. That being said, I mean, COVID is absolutely running rampant again. The hospitals near me, I'm in the Cleveland area, the hospitals are kind of at capacity with COVID patients. They have stopped doing all elective surgery. I might have mentioned on the previous podcast, I have a friend of mine who had either a friend or a family member that was scheduled to get quadruple bypass surgery, and they pushed it back. I've got another friend who his son was coming in to have shoulder surgery. They pushed that back. His father, same guy, his father was having some pretty significant back surgery. They pushed that back. So things are getting very bad out there. My very own Cleveland Browns, they are dealing with an outbreak on the team. I think there was something like 18 or 20 players that are in the COVID protocol for the NFL. So, our starting quarterback, Baker Mayfield, our head coach, one of our running back, our team was just decimated. And I'm pretty sure, so they're playing the Raiders this weekend. I'm pretty sure that the Raiders are dealing with it as well, because I saw an announcement today from the NFL that they're pushing that game that was originally scheduled to be played tomorrow on Saturday to, I think, Monday at 5 p.m. So there'll be multiple Monday evening games this week. I'm not sure what 2 days is really going to do. I suppose it gives some additional players an opportunity to have another day or two. I believe once they have tested positive within the NFL, protocol. I think they have to have 2 negative tests in order to get back on the field. So maybe that 2 days gives them some additional time to take some additional tests. Um, but it's just crazy. I've said multiple times we've got 3 boys in 3 different school districts. My oldest son, he got done with his finals yesterday, so he was done. He's on break anyhow. My middle son, they actually canceled. He was supposed to have school today. They canceled that just because there's so much contact tracing and so many cases just running rampant. And then my younger son, who's in our public school, we got an email from the school today, and they said that coming off of the break, which starts today, his last day was today, they're going to go virtual basically for the first 2 weeks of January, and then they already had a scheduled week off in late January, so they're not going to go back into the building until at least the 24th or the 25th of January. So, it seems like we've been down this road before, and it's not a road that I'm all that excited about going down again. And so, hey, it is what it is. I just hope you all stay happy and healthy and safe, and do what you need to do to keep yourself safe. I went today. I took my oldest son, and we went to go see Spider-Man: No Way Home. I will give you a warning right now. I am going to talk openly about the plot of this movie. I'm not going to do like a plot review or a plot summary or anything like that, but know that I will talk openly about spoilers. I will talk openly about characters and things that happen in the movie. So if you haven't seen it and you want to stay spoiler free, I'll give you a 5-second countdown, and then I'm going to start talking openly about this movie. So you got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so here we are. Holy shit! Wow, this movie is awesome. I was absolutely blown away by Spider-Man: No Way Home. They talk about the entire movie revolves around the multiverse. It revolves around the fact that there are multiple universes out there with multiple timelines, and Doctor Strange of Avenger fame is involved. Basically, Peter Parker wants to do a spell because at the end of the last Spider-Man movie, if you recall, Mysterio told everybody who Peter Parker was, who Spider-Man was. And obviously that has kind of ruined Peter's life. And so he goes to Doctor Strange, and he essentially wants Doctor Strange to run a spell so that basically only the people that Peter wants to know his identity know it. So basically everybody else would forget that he is Spider-Man. Well, things happen, things ensue. Essentially, the spell goes wrong, for lack of a better term. And what happens is villains from former Spider-Man's past start to come into this universe. So you get villains like Doc Ock, which was a Tobey Maguire villain. You get villains like Sandman, which was a Tobey Maguire villain. You get villains like the Lizard and Electro, which were Andrew Garfield Spider-Man villains, and they are all now in the Tom Holland or the MCU version of Spider-Man, which was just really, really fucking cool. If you had seen the trailers for this movie, you knew that these characters would be coming back. You also get the Green Goblin, and so you knew that these characters would be coming back. What I wasn't sure of was how they would interact, how they would look, how they would fit into the story. They did an outstanding job. All of the actors looked really good. I mean, obviously they had aged, but they didn't look they didn't look out of place. They didn't look abnormal. They did a really, really good job. It was a compelling story. It is a long movie. I think it's well over 2 hours long. It is a funny movie. I found myself laughing quite a bit, primarily at the dialogue, and it's dialogue between Peter Parker and his friend Ned and his girlfriend MJ and those kind of things. It was a funny, funny movie. You got to remember that in this universe, Spider-Man is still a teenager. He's 17 years old. Well, I suppose Spider-Man is always younger, but he's a 17-year-old kid, and so some of the things that he does when he's not avenging, when he's not a part of the Avengers, he's still a kid. So this one revolves around him trying to get into college, and he's trying to get into MIT and those kind of things. I was blown away. I was really, really happy. And as you might imagine, when you've got multiverse villains, well, you're going to have multiverse Spider-Man. So there is a scene, and it is done really, really well, where Ned, Peter Parker's friend, he opens a portal similar to the way Doctor Strange can open portals, and he's looking for Peter. He's looking for Spider-Man, and so he opens a portal, and standing there is Spider-Man. Spider-Man walks through the portal, and sure enough, he takes off his mask, and it's not Tom Holland, but it's Andrew Garfield. And it was a really, really well done scene. And they did a similar portal entrance for Tobey Maguire's version of Spider-Man as well. Just really, really well done. I cannot say enough about how much I enjoyed this movie. I sent Pip a text. I think he's actually seeing it right now as I'm recording. He asked me to send him a text and just let him know what I thought of it without giving him any spoilers. And so I sent him a text. I said it was outstanding. And the way I referred to it was the Endgame of the Spidey-verse. And what I mean by that is Endgame did an outstanding job of bringing together so many characters and weaving them together in a cohesive story where nobody really felt out of place, nobody really felt lost, nobody really felt wrong. And while there wasn't as many characters here as there was in Endgame, certainly, this movie did that same seamless job of kind of getting everybody involved, telling one cohesive story, and moving the entire plot of the movie forward. Like I said, it's well over 2 hours long. I was never bored once. It was really, really well done. I cannot say enough. I would anticipate that this movie is going to make a shit ton of money, because I have heard nothing but rave reviews about it so far. I'm sure, there's going to be some asshole out there that just wants to, write a negative review. Again, I don't know. I've only seen it once. I saw it this morning, and I've just been really, really pumped about it ever since. And so I figured I had a couple minutes here, and I would jump on the podcast and record some thoughts. I was a little bit surprised. With the exception of Doctor Strange, we got no other Avengers. I thought maybe we might have a cameo here or there. You do have Happy Hogan, but with the exception of Doctor Strange, there's no other Avengers in the film. You did get a really cool cameo at the beginning. I suppose it's a cameo from Matt Murdock or Daredevil. Peter needs a lawyer, and there's Daredevil, which was really kind of cool. He was in it just very briefly. We did have a pretty big character death in Aunt May. They killed Aunt May. So Marissa Tomei, which she's always awesome to see. But it was a really well done. It was a good death. It was a good death scene. It added some gravitas to the story. Green Goblin came back and got her. It was just really, really well done all around. I was a little bit surprised we did not see Venom until the post-credit scenes, which I suppose it makes sense when you understand the relationship between Sony and Marvel and what have, or Sony and Disney. So similar to the way we got a post-credit scene in the latest Venom movie, the Carnage movie, we get a similar kind of scene in this one as well. The cool thing about that, I believe that was the mid-credit scene, when so basically Venom and Eddie Brock kind of disappear, and so what that tells us is they were not part of this universe, or they were going over to another multiverse, but part of the symbiote is left behind. So I think it is very fair to say that now Eddie Brock's version of Venom, or what's the guy's name? Because of course it's Eddie Brock. I'm told Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy's version of Venom, Tom Hardy's version of Eddie Brock, that Venom is now in the MCU. There was a little drop of him that was left over when he disappeared, which I think is really cool. Now, does that mean we're ever going to actually get a Venom in an MCU movie? I don't know. Probably not. But the opportunity is there based on that post-credit scene. And then there is an end credit scene as well, like after the credits. And it's setting up Doctor Strange, the second Doctor Strange movie, which I think is going to be really, really good, and it's going to continue to explore this concept of the multiverse and that kind of thing. So, like I said, just wanted to jump on here for a few minutes and kind of ramble about this movie that I really, really enjoyed. I'm looking forward to seeing it again, and I'm looking forward to being able to discuss it, maybe with Pip on the podcast here. But I want to make sure that I wanted to make sure I kind of got my thoughts out on opening, or the day that I saw it, which I believe is the day after opening day. So thanks for listening to me ramble. If you're sticking with me this long, it's because you either A, already saw the movie, or B, didn't care about the spoilers. Leave me a comment wherever you're listening to this, whether it's on YouTube or on your favorite podcast app or whatever. I would love to hear what you thought about Spider-Man No Way Home. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. That being said, my name is Chewie, and this has been the 411 from 406. Please make sure you give me a like, you subscribe, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, folks. Have a good afternoon.